Hi everyone and welcome to this new video. My name is Susanne and today I want to show you which washi tapes I got from the Washi Tape Shop. These are the ones. It's quite a bunch and some rolls are packed by one and some rolls are packed by multiple rolls in a pack. And I want to show you quickly which washi tapes I got, but most of all I want to create a journal spread together with you to show you what you can do with these washi tapes. Actually, I want to create two journal spreads. I want to make a collage in my Hobonichi A6. It will be something with intricate details that I just love to do. But I also want to create a spread in my daily Hobonichi, the Hon, which is also an A6, and I use that one for my daily writings. And I like to create some very simple decorations in that journal because I want to keep the focus mainly on writing, and I thought it's also nice to show you how I do that. So it will be two journal spreads today, one with more intricate details that you see more often here on my channel, and one very simple one with some very simple decorations. So without further ado, I'll turn the camera around and let's start creating together. At first I want to go over the tapes that I got from the Washi Tape Shop, and we start with these cute little girl tapes, and I really love they're all with different seasons. These are ones a bit more to autumn, but also like some little Christmas girls. And here you see more Halloween with cute little cats, and I think this is really lovely. I just love everything with cats. So I think I will use this one for this spread. And here's more spring summer girls. I also really love the design from these tapes. And here's also one I picked. I don't know how often I can use it, but this is the London tape, and a few years ago we've been to London and I really loved it so much. And I just wanted to have this tape, and I think I will make once an ode to London spread. I really love it. And this one is also really cute. It's super summery, although we are going to autumn now, but I still really like this tape. I think it just looks so yummy with all the lemonades and everything, and the lemons and the peaches and pears. It just makes me really happy when I look at it. And I also love to create something with this. Maybe I will use this one for my A6 daily journal for today. And this one is also really cute. It's all with different types of houses. Here you see a bit like Dutch houses, like the ones we have in Amsterdam and Utrecht. And yeah, it reminded me of this. And here more churches, which is also cute with the little butterflies and everything that's going around. And the farmhouses. I think that's also really nice for a bit more cottagecore vibe. Here's one with picnic vibes, I think, based on the seal on the tape. Let's see what this brings. And it's indeed all about picnic, nice sweater weather. I see fall leaves and everything. I think this is also really nice. Also food, which is also really lovely. Really cozy stickers are on here. And this one I'm really curious about. I think it's really beautiful. Look how gorgeous with all those tiles. I love these type of tapes. They are so versatile. You can use them as backgrounds, but also as main thing in your spreads. And I think the colors are just great with blues and golds and pinks. And here's the next one with daily things like knitting and food and everything, which is also really lovely. Oh, that plant I also really like. And these are all the tapes I got from the Washi Tape Shop. So let's start creating with the first spread. And I do that in my Hobonichi A6. It's just a plain journal and I love it for just making collages and just write random things basically. It can be about my daily life, it can be about something I reflect on. It's just anything that comes to my mind. And I start of course with the tile tape. I really adore this tape. Just the colors, the design, I just love everything about it. And it's not because Washi Tape Shop asked me to say these things because they gifted me these tapes, but I'm truly enthusiastic about this one. I just love the softness of the colors and the color combinations. I always love blue with yellow tones or pink tones. I think it just looks so, yeah, it goes so well together. And I picked out these two tiles and I cut off the excess around the edges, the whites. I don't think you really have to. I mean, it's washi tape and it blends into your page, but I always like doing it. I don't know why. It's maybe a bit of a tick to cut off every excess around the images. And of course I want to pick one of these girls, and I love this cat girl. Also with a warmer coat, and I think the brown color really matches well with the color of the tiles. And for the ones who are following me for a longer time, they know I love using these labels and cut off the edges and the inside and made that as a little window on my spreads. I think it just gives like such a lovely layer and a bit playfulness to the spread. I don't know, it's a bit like my go-to thing. And I also always keep the inside, as you maybe also know from previous videos, to stamp on later. And now I'm deciding where I place everything. And what I like to do with these large chunks of washi tape is just cut off a small piece of the backing of the washi, so I have a bit more control on where to place it. Because I find out if I don't do this that a part of the washi sticks to my page already, and if you need to rip it loose it curls around and it only makes it harder. And I find this the most easiest way to deal with big pieces of either washi or pet tape. With pet tape you can do the same. And I love that there's this line on the washi tape, so I will put the label over it and then it looks perfect, I think. We'll see. And I use this Quicky Glue Pen to glue it to the page. You can also use other types of glue, of course, but this can really make like fine placement of the glue, which I really like. And I always use a tweezer for these kind of things. It gives me a little bit more of control. And I'm sorry if some parts of the video are a bit blurred. I have a new camera and I need to deal a little bit with the settings and get a bit used to. So some parts are not really clear. I see now it's now focusing on my hands, and sometimes I want to focus on the spread. So I need to find out how to do this the best. But nonetheless, I hope you still can enjoy watching this video. The other part of tape, I just put it on the right down corner of the spread. And I think it looks already really beautiful. I really love this tape. And now it's time for the cute cat lady. I don't know, I always loved cats, of course, but since we have cats, I think they are now like 3 years old. And yeah, I just adore anything with cats, like stamps or these washi tapes or anything. I think it's so cozy. I can also understand like if people like more dogs or maybe they don't like cats, but I do, and I love to put them in my spreads. I think it always looks so cozy. And I also like to take this one, but I see there's also part of this text on it. And I cut that one off. It's always a bit finicky when the tape is sticky. But in this case it wasn't that hard. And I think it's nice to put it below next to the girl, so it has a bit of that story, like she's holding the cat, there's one sitting next to her. I think for the ones who are following me for a longer time, they know I just love adding cats to my spreads and next to the girls that I use to give that cozy vibe. This one is also really cute. And I decided to use that one too, because I also want to add something to the right page to give a bit more of a coherent vibe. I always love to bring a bit balance, so if I use something on the left side, I also like to use it on the right side. So it looks a bit more balanced out. At least that's my perception. You can do however you feel fit, of course, in your own spreads. I think it looks really cute here. It's like it's singing to the girl and the other cat from his corner of the page. And then I want to add some washi to give some extra decoration. I really love this one. This one is from Yohaku. I really adore washi tapes from Yohaku also. I think the designs are so beautiful and so versatile also. You can use them, almost every time. And I think in this case it just adds a lovely layer and it brings out the browns and the blues of the tiles a bit more. And I also want to give the cat something to sit on instead of half floating in the air. So I also put a piece of tape under the cat. So it has a nice thing to sit on. And then while I was showing you these tapes, I saw a beautiful plant. Here it is, and that I also really want to use. I think my second favorite thing of adding to my spread, except cats, next to the girls of course, is plants. I think it also gives like such a cozy vibe. It's funny, like if you make these videos and you edit it and you do a voiceover after, then you also start noticing things that you're doing yourself. And I really observed that I'm using often like a bit like cozy vibes, for example cats or plants, and give a bit like that indoor house coziness feeling. Also this chair fits to that theme, of course. And this particular stamp is from Kurukynki, and I clean my stamps with this stamp Shammy. It's just like, yeah, I don't know what the fabric is exactly, but it's like something that you wash the windows with, that leather thing, although this one is not made of leather. And you just make it wet with water and it just cleans your stamps perfectly. So I make it wet before starting creating and then just put it next to me, and it's really easy. And yeah, you can also bring it with you. For example, I also bring it to stationery cafes and I put it in a plastic bag. You have those Ziploc bags and they are just perfect for it. I just wet it at home and then I put it inside, and yeah, then you're just ready to go, and it also almost takes no place. So that's a little stamping cleaning tip. I will also add everything that I use below this video, so if it goes a bit too fast or you can't hear the names fine, you can also read it up below this video. And I stamped these stamps on that extra paper that came from the inside of that label that I cut out. And I love doing it this way because in that way you create little ephemera that you can stick to your page. And I think that gives a bit more of a layered effect. Like, you can of course stamp over each other, but I think in this case, especially when it's like with those clear edges, like that squarey one and the round one on the right, yeah, it just gives really a nice effect. And this label is from Panrora Papers. It's a lady on Instagram and she sells Japanese vintage labels, for example from sake labels or kimonos or anything, but also like these tiny things. It's really worth checking her up also. She really sells nice things. And I also love to use these tiny text stamps. These are from Phavourite. And I'll also use this ink from Breezy Studio. And with these tiny stamps, I explained it also in the video before, but I just hardly touch the stamping pad, so you don't get like that thick ink on the stamp. And I also press really lightly to the paper. I wiggle it around and it looks maybe like I use a lot of pressure, but I use as minimum pressure as possible, so you get the most clear stamp impression on your paper. And now it's time for some calligraphy, and I still first write it with pencil and then go over it with ink. I still don't trust myself enough to do it immediately with ink. I wish one day I don't need to do this anymore, but yeah, I just need to practice more. But I always love to add some calligraphy and some writings to my pages. And I use my Sailor. This is the Toy Poodle, the German exclusive Sailor pen. And I inked it up with also Sailor ink. It's Kitsune Biyori. I needed to think like which ink was inside it already. I got this one from a friend and I think it's really lovely. I think once I finish this ink in the pen, because I only have to fill the pen, I'll buy the bottle myself also. I also love this quote. Whenever I make a spread, I also think like, okay, what's the theme and is there a quote with it? Like, for example, I made a lot of themes about the summer, then I look up for summer quotes or sea quotes, or like now with the transition to autumn, I look for, yeah, transition to autumn quotes, and in this case, a cat quote. And I came across this one and I saw it's from Sigmund Freud, and then I thought I have to use this in my spread. I also really like yeah, what it's saying, time spent with cats is never wasted. And here I stamp my Kurukynki stamp, and as you can see I spilled a bit ink on the edge of the stamp and I just remove it with my thumb. I always check if the edges are a bit smeared with ink, and I always remove it because I don't want to have those edges around the stamp if I maybe press too hard on the page or anything. So that's also a tip, just really check if you don't put ink on the edges of your stamp. They avoid that lines. These stamps are also from Breezy Studio. I just love them. These are the months, so this says September. At least I thought at the time I was stamping it said September, but now I remember there was an 8 written on the side of the stamp, which means it's the 8th month, which is August. But that's okay, I mean, I can't read these characters anyway, but for the ones who can, they see that it's actually not the right month. And this is, yeah, my go-to date stamp. This one is from Baum-Kuchen, and I really love it to put the date and the day on it. And I also use the ink from Breezy Studio again. And this one is always a bit tricky to get it like super straight to the page, and I never completely manage, but that's okay. A bit crookedness is not that bad. If you really want to have it straight, you can of course also stamp it to a paper, cut that out and stick that to your page. But since I'm writing on it with fountain pen ink, I want to write directly to the paper, so that's why I prefer it this way. And this is the first spread. I really love how it turned out. And let's go to the next one. This is my Hobonichi A6 Hon, and I like to create a really simple spread on this one with this tape. When I was unpacking the tapes, my eye immediately fell on this one. I really loved it. I love the fresh vibe of it and the lemonades, and I don't know, I just love it. You sometimes have these stationery, they just make you instantly happy, and this is definitely one of them. And I think this particular one is really nice because it's quite large. And it's also really vibrant and a bit like of a complete picture. It looks already a bit collagey with the glasses and the leaves and the fruits around it. And it's also like the perfect size, I think. I'm not writing that much in a day, so I think the room that's left, that would be enough for me. And it looks immediately like nice. And I think these vases are also really cute, where you can add some extra leaves and everything inside it, so you can make your own decorated vase. And I just stick it here, and I want to add some twigs to it. And I just do it really simple. I just stick it over each other, and it's like it's hanging in the water. At least that's in my fantasy happening in this picture. And this one is also really lovely with the lemons. And in that way I create a little bouquet. And I also want to put some lemons around it, of course, to also give it a little bit more depth. But that's so easy of this tape, it's so complete, you can make so many things with it. You can use, like as I did on the left page, use the whole picture, so you're immediately done. But you can also create like a little collage, as I'm doing right now. I think it's really lovely. And I want to add this twig also. Some parts are going a bit hard. You need to do a little bit picking around. And I see I want to put it there instead of this little thing that I put there. So I take it off. And that also goes quite easy, fortunately. And then I stick this one and put this on top, and I think now it looks more balanced in the vase. And as I explained in the beginning of this video, I use this journal for my daily memories. So I write every day a little piece of what happened or thoughts that I have or whatever I want to write about. But I like my pages decorated, but since I'm using it every day, I don't want to spend too much time on it. And like this you can create in 5-10 minutes a nice looking spread, and yeah, the focus stays on the writing and it still looks nice. So I think it's perfect for this journal to do it like this. And I add the finishing touch and that's it. This is this really super simple spread with some cute collages. And this is my other spread, which I also really loved how it turned out. I hope you enjoyed watching how I created these spreads. And if you have anything to ask or say, please feel free to leave a comment below this video. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe if you didn't do already. For now, I want to wish you a happy week and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye!